Hey guys, today's video is all about making the best, fluffiest waffles. Crispy on the outside, nice and soft and fluffy in the inside. It's part of my book in my recipe collection of Seed to Plate. So you can follow along there, but this is going to show you exactly step by step. So let's get started making some scrumptious waffles for breakfast, or even goes really good with chicken and waffles.
Welcome to the Roots Revival with Food Prude, where we're going back to our roots and learning old-fashioned ways in a modern world. Hi, I'm Laura Lawrence, and I'm glad you're here with me.
Hey guys, let's make fluffy homemade waffles today. So first we need to get our bowl and our whisk, and we're going to crack in 3 eggs. You can get rid of the shells. Did you know that you can actually feed your shells back to your chickens if you have chickens? I know it seems weird, but you can. You also want to melt your butter, and then you want to get that butter cooled down because you don't want to put that hot butter into eggs or you'll start cooking the eggs. We just don't want to do that at this point. Now I'm a super fast whisker, as you can tell. No, I'm kidding. That's actually sped up because it's a little boring to watch somebody whisk eggs forever. Then we're going to go ahead and put in our 1 cup of milk and our tablespoon of vanilla, as well as our cooled down but melted butter. We're going to whisk that till it's fully combined. And then we're going to slowly add in our flour. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add in our flour. So there's 2 cups of flour. We're going to put that in there, and I'm using a spatula to get that mixed together, because if I was to do the whisk, it would stick and clump all over the whisk and create a mess, and that's what we want. So we want to go ahead and kind of flip that and fluff that around. And this batter is a thicker type of batter for our waffles. You could also do this for pancakes as well. It's the same between waffles and pancakes. It's the same. We're just making waffles today because we have a waffle maker. So I'm just seeing to see if it's thick enough. If it's a little too thick, just go ahead and add a splash more of milk just to kind of get it to not super thick. And then we're going to go ahead and mix that, call it good. And then we're going to get our waffle maker going. Yours is going to be different than mine, but I simply just kind of crank the knob and turn it on. And it takes several minutes to heat up. You want to go ahead and just make sure it's nice and warm before you start putting the dough or the batter on there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then when it's nice and hot, take care to touch. The outside will be hot, so you want to be careful. But we're going to pour in about 1/2 cup of batter for this size of waffle maker. Now there's square ones, there's huge ones, there's small ones, they're all different kinds. But for that typical, I'd say maybe like an 8-inch size, you're going to do about 1/2 cup, maybe a little bit more. You don't want to do too much because it will spill out the sides, and that's never fun to clean up, right? So let's minimize the mess and not waste anything. So about 1/2 cup. You can make them smaller, it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to see all that steam. That means that it is cooking and baking still in there. So once the steam minimizes, you still see some. You can go ahead and open it up, and that means it's done. Be careful removing the waffle itself. And then you're going to go ahead and put in more batter and close it and wait. It takes about 3 minutes. And again, it's going to depend on your waffle maker, so you're going to have to pay attention. You can use an oven mitt to help take off the waffles too, depending on how hot they are. I'm using a large fork and an oven mitt. And then I like to go ahead and put them on a baking sheet and bake them for 3 minutes just to kind of get them all warmed up to the same temperature and serve them with delicious maple.